Hello, how are you doing? So this isn't a particularly complex mod, but I probably get more questions about this on my videos than anything else. The dice, the visual dice showing up on screen. So I think I very briefly mentioned this in another video, in one of my mod compilation videos, but when I roll a dice in my game, it looks on screen, you get a dice rolling effect come on. That's not standard Foundry. That is Dice So Nice. I think actually it has become, a version of it has become base Foundry, but Dice So Nice adds more features. When the module is enabled, you have access to, where are we? In Dice So Nice, we have, so you as the DM have access to all these. So you can see obviously features like the maximum number of dice on the screen. Players can choose how fast their dice roll. If the same thing is rolled by the same person multiple times, is it going to do one roll action or do one after another? That's relatively new. It used to be that if my players stepped on a twig and broke the branch and alerted the 20 wolves, when you highlighted all those wolves and clicked to roll initiative, on screen it'd go, first wolf, second wolf. It took so long to do. Since then, now it just gets a bucket of all the dice and goes on the screen at once. Joy scares your players when you do that. We've got on here, but everybody, yourself and your players, will also have my dice settings. And you've got a surprising amount of playing around that you can do with this, where you can change the type, the theme, the colour, the texture, the material, the font. Your players really get their own sort of, character going on with their dice. It's boring if everyone's dice look the same. And as you have a weekly or however your campaign is, an ongoing campaign, your players will start to associate. It becomes a bit of a character personality thing. What your dice look like. It's very personal to every player anyway, isn't it? And they've got options for, do they want sound effects with their dice? You can overrule that as a DM. What throwing force do they want? Do they want it to come in and go above or under the sheets? Do they want it to be super fast or anything like that? Do they want even things like this? When the dice are rolled, they can choose what sound the dice make. So is it like it's bouncing on felt or wood or like a metal table? If you're playing some futuristic steampunk game, you might want all the dice bouncing off metal. Sounds like daft things to me, but it can make a huge difference to you and your table. Do you want to put special effects on your dice? Where when you roll, if you roll a d20 or a d6, if it rolls a 1, a 20, or a 6. So I might say roll d20 on a 20, make it do this. So you can have it so that special effects happen on your die. I'd try and do that now with a nat 20, but you just know that I would roll the dice 200 times and I wouldn't get a nat 20, and this video would be me just rolling dice again and again. But remember, this isn't you setting it for the whole module. This is someone setting it for just their dice. So you can all have your dice do your own things. Maybe your druid had, since they got one of the winery gems from Barovia and they have this green magic gem empowering them, maybe you can then go in and change it so that their dice have some green bloom on a nat 20. Just cool little stuff. And then you can check some performance issues, because it is rendering 3D effects. People who are playing or using Foundry on a potato or a scientific calculator, as you'll probably know as a DM, some people do have slight performance issues with it. If one of your players is one of those people, they can come in and can disable some options to make it a bit easier on their machine. But it's a great little module. One of the first ones I got, and I really, really enjoy it. So that is Dice So Nice, and I highly recommend it, just for letting you and your players add some more customization to what their dice look like and how dice rolls work in your game. That's all for this one. As ever, please leave a comment. Let me know what you enjoyed, what you didn't, what you'd like to see, and I'll see you again soon.